Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Take a look at Bitcoin dumping its socks off as per usual after a violent outburst over the weekend to the upside to sweep, almost $40 billion in liquidation to the upside. So fantastic stuff to see that happen just because it's, Bitcoin has been due to correct itself, and it's nice to see this finally be the case. While we did miss out on a short opportunity there, we just barely didn't get filled, and the trade closed in profit before we even got filled. It's generally a good sign, right? We like to see that. It shows that the TA is working. We can also see as well that that rectangle, bearish rectangle pattern for ICP broke down as well. We got two short positions open, 27%, 24% for that there. So awesome stuff. And for our Premium Plus group, we can see a lot of shorts coming through here with my bots here. So again, a lot of reasons why you shouldn't be taking longs right now, buying these dips with any type of leverage. Just doesn't make any sense. We're going to take a look though at key levels for Avax, specific support and resistance ranges that we need to kind of focus on. Some of them are based off of liquidation levels, which we can see a heavy concentration at 26 for Avax. And then there's also a few other important things to recognize. So stay tuned. It's really extremely important to watch this. Do me a favor too, though, before we get started, just hit that like button. It really helps grow the channel. It helps me out a lot to get this in front of more people, because unfortunately YouTube doesn't really like recommending these shorter videos. Take a look though at Avax here. This is the last 7 days, $27 and $26. Pretty easy to remember. Just some key round numbers there. A lot of fib levels and just round numbers have been working as support and resistances recently. So keep in mind, 27 even, 26 even, there's a lot of liquidation there. We can see somewhere in the range about 100 to 200 million at 27, and roughly the same for 26. We zoom in a little closer though, we can see 26 is the heavier concentration. It goes back a long ways because that $26 mark has held fairly well since mid-July. Okay, so 2 weeks here, we've been able to see the price action stay at that level or higher. All that being said, what is it, just round number $26, there's about 400 million right there at that one level. And then between 24 and 25, we can see, almost about $1 billion. So if you kind of add it all up, there's probably like 1.5 billion between 24 and 26. But heaviest, more recent concentrations at 26. Keep in mind, just because those liquidation levels exist doesn't mean the price goes right to that level. It really just implies that there's kind of a magnet working towards that if key levels are broken. And again, those key levels are supports that have to be broken before we get there. So if we look at this point of control in the last, just say how long we've been in this range? Since roughly June, about a month and a half. In this range, since we've been as low as 21, round number, as high as 33, another round number, we can see here that $26 is that point of control. So the likelihood of the price retesting 26 to me is still high. However, breaking it is lower because that's such a strong support. Okay. Now, obviously, I've got an alert here set for $26 from before. I believe that's an area that I was considering a long, because that's a 0.618 fib level, folks. That's an important area of retracement, and it's really common for the price action to bounce off those levels. So a consideration might be to short to that level and then to take a long at 26. Yeah, just hypothetically thinking out loud here. A lot of it depends on Bitcoin though. So if we see what happened to Avax dropped from 29 to 27 roughly, when Bitcoin dropped from 70,000 to 67,000. If 67 goes down to 64,000, then I think we're going to see that 26 and or potentially even lower. All right, so the correlation between Bitcoin and Avax is not phenomenal. If you take a look at though Avax and Bitcoin's pulling back a little harder than Avax is right now. Okay, so while Avalanche did pull back pretty hard over the last week, the last three or four trading days have been pretty good, solid range bound. Now this could be a rectangular, bearish rectangle as well. So if you're not familiar with that, we have a chart pattern section here in our Discord, and the best way to understand it is a bearish rectangle has an 80% probability of continuing lower once it establishes itself. Again, the reason why is because it derives from the top, works itself into a range and continues lower, right? Generally, there's a lot of liquidation and or just continuation in play, but this is looking like it's fairly well range bound. Look at that, 0.5 to 0.382. We can see the price action not wanting to close above or below that level. We're starting to get a range, all right? That being said, we're under 50 on the RSI, generally bearish. We can see the MACD is now officially diverging as well. Shift in momentum has occurred, and we are looking at money flow index kind of plateauing, just telling us that there's a decent amount of buying pressure, but equal amount of selling pressure. So all that being said, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, we can see stochastic swinging down, money flow index is low, RSI under 50, and we can see the MACD now soon to diverge. These are all bearish signs, folks. Okay. Now again, it's easy to say it's bearish right now because the last 8 hours have been pulling back, but the macro is telling us it's bearish too, right? Which does kind of imply the overall sense here is that Avax could go lower. Now the hourly time frame, we can see a very similar scenario here as well, in which we see the price action below the cloud. Lagging span is trying to break free from the cloud, free from the price action, but it hasn't yet. And the conversion line is right there at the baseline. So there's 2 out of 3 reasons here to consider a short and to not have an open long. If you are in a long right now and you're in profit, you probably should close it, because I think your profit's going to be whatever the sound effect will be to flush a toilet. Flush that toilet, folks. So you're going to basically be wasting your money. Again, taking a long on this coin is very risky in my personal opinion. We had this interesting little pump here, but ever since then it's come right back to normal. And minus any potential fundamental catalyst, Avax has been on the struggle bus for some time. Okay, till we soundly close above $30, I'm still not bullish on this coin. Even at that point, it probably won't be, but we'll revisit that later. I think the key takeaway here is that we have strong potential for this 0.618 fib level to be retested. We have a bearish type of rectangle pattern here forming. While it's not exact, you can see some pretty obvious areas of support and resistance. And the likelihood of the price action continuing lower, to me, is quite high, right? So again, it's just kind of a crude illustration. I'll tighten that up. I'll post that playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If you're not familiar, they look a little something like this. This is actually a perfect one here for ICP, and the price broke down. That's why we took our short positions, right? It's exactly why we're in profit on our trades, because once more, we did exactly that. We honored a lot of confirming factors, okay? So again, when you see these type of things happen, you don't just take a trade based on a pattern. What you do is you take a trade based on a pattern and confirming factors, which we've seen here so far for Avax, is more likely to drop than increase. Granted, Bitcoin could rally back up to even 68,000, okay? My original anticipation today was for Bitcoin to hit 68.5 and to pull back. It pulled back without hitting 68.5. But that does imply, though, we're more likely to see the price, if it does come back up, to rally back up to 68.5 and then retrace back down lower. Either way you look at it, I don't feel confident taking along with Bitcoin just yet, considering how hard it dumped here today. And while I've been looking for an entry at 67,000, now that it's here, it doesn't feel very good. All right, that's why you reevaluate and consistently try to get back on track here with analyzing consistently. All right, that's what we do, folks. It's all here for you if you need it. CryptoCache.tech is a site link down below. We do have a lot of new members coming over. I just want to recommend that you absolutely read through all of our members only section. Signals guide, imperative. You have to know how my signals are structured and the recommendations for them. Also pay attention, enable trade alerts too. We have this cool feature where you can do coin calls, you can pick the coins you like, and essentially get notified for those too. And that all comes in this trade alerts section here. So check it out, folks. It's been a lot of fun, been great stuff there. So thanks to my community. We'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.